Rightio. There we go, that's the order. So, this PS4 Pacific Series Tier 2 race. Oh, excuse me. Here, quite possibly one of the most legendary circuits in the entirety of motorsport. It's Formula One's Temple of Speed. It is the home of Ferrari and Tifosi. It was a circuit created all the way back in 1922. It was the world's third permanent racing circuit for motor cars, alongside the likes of Brooklands, the first ever permanent racetrack, and a little racetrack in America that you might have heard of called Indianapolis. But since 1922 it has hosted a massive variety of races, and also became the home of the Italian Grand Prix in 1950, and has hosted every single Italian Grand Prix except for the 1980 edition, where it was moved to Imola. But ladies and gentlemen, strap yourselves in, because we're in for one hell of a show. It is round 14 of this Tier 2 Pacific Series Championship here, at Formula One's Temple of Speed, Autodromo Nazionale di Monza. This is going to be one awesome race, I think. Now, try and get everything up, and let's begin the 18 minutes of qualifying. Now, just a little bit of championship stuff that we have to talk about, because we are closing in towards the end of the season. This is the last circuit that we do in Europe before we begin the Asian tour. And at the moment, Misty Griffin is looking pretty good. He's got a 31-point lead at the moment over Aussie Suspect, who had an absolutely superb race at Belgium. If you haven't watched that, I highly recommend you do. And in P3 it's Harass, and they're about, I believe, if memory serves me correctly, 34 points separating those three drivers. And amazingly, Harass has not won a single race as of yet. The best result he's got is second place, so just shows his consistency and raw speed. Let's see, Suskas is the first driver out, so I'll just double check the championship. 37, I knew it was 30 something, separating the top three. Then BK, who is now in Tier 1, is in P4, and Kickbutt Kiwi P5, 54 points behind Misty Griffin, so a fair way behind indeed. So it's pretty much a battle between the top three at this stage. Still plenty of racing to churn out, so we don't know what's going to happen in the final couple of races. Should be a fantastic end to a fantastic championship indeed. 8 different race winners so far. 8, that is unbelievable. Will we see a new one here today at Monza? Suskas will be the first driver to set a flying lap on this wonderful circuit. 350 kilometers an hour in turns 1 and 2. Then coming into Curva Grande, it's absolutely flat out through here. You do not lift the laurel. 7th gear. He'll climb up into 8th gear. Coming into the Della Roggier chicane. 100 meter board. There we go. 2nd gear. No, 3rd gear. Okay. Now coming into the 2 Lesmos, the first of which I imagine about 4th or 5th gear corner. 5th gear, doesn't drop it down to 4th. And 5th as well for the 2nd Lesmo, using all the curb on the outside. You're very much entitled to use that down this straightaway. The 2nd of the 2 DRS zones into the notorious Ascari Chicane. It is a death zone here on this circuit, particularly that one, turn 10. The last part of the Ascari Chicane, it's very easy to lose the back end and going into one of the 2 walls that line the circuit. Now coming into the final corner, Parabolica, a sweeping right-hander, a beautifully flowing sweeping right-hander. And he'll come across the line. It's a 20.3 on a set of softs. And if memory serves me correctly, it is a soft medium circuit. No need to worry too much about strategy. There's also a soft hard option, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, dearie me. Oh, dearie me. Saw that in front. It's lunacy. Going off the road and breaking some of the braking boards. Dearie me. As Kick Butt Kiwi now goes fastest with a 1 minute 20.203. Big Donga on an out lap. I believe Misty Griffin is on a flyer. It'll be a very interesting lap to watch. The current championship leader, a healthy margin of 31 points. He's got a win in his back pocket. A wins gap between himself and second place to play with. Down the second DRS zone. The Speedo climbing. Still climbing into Ascari. Heavy on the brakes. He's just missed the apex of turn 8 though. It's going to cost him the run onto this straightaway just before Parabolica. I'm not sure if this is going to be at pole time. We've got some slow cars in the second sector. Nothing too much to worry about. But now coming through Parabolica, 6th gear, 7th gear, into 8th gear, 1920. I didn't think it was a pole time. It's P4 for the championship leader, 20.5 at the moment. As I said, it's the home of the Ferrari team, so I'm expecting the Ferraris to do well, especially Big Donga. He's shown superb pace in previous races, and Sideshow Prod, the Very Angry Sidepod, I said his old name, Very Angry Sidepod, he's not a bad driver at all. He's quite a class act when he has a good race and he strings a good race together. He's very much up towards the top of the field. But at the moment his teammate is going to be the first driver to set a flying lap. Hitting the 50 metre board, 4th gear. A bit of a slow entrance into Parabolica it seems. But that's probably more because of the medium tyre. He comes across the line, it's a 20.9. I thought it was going to be a 21. But no, it's a 20.9 for the Ferrari. Puts in P7. And we've got some slow cars in Sector 1, that's alright. Coming through Ascari now does Sidepod. Avoids that danger curve on the inside. Very easy to spin yourself around on it. Misty Griffin pulls to the inside quite smartly to let Sidepod through, but he's missed the apex into Parabolica. It's going to ruin his run onto the main straightaway. What's this time going to be? It's a 21.1, very close to his teammate. Just 0.2 of a second separating the two Ferraris, both of them on the medium tyre as well. Artie now on a flyer in the McLaren. 100 metre board, down the gears he goes. 2nd gear through Retrophilia. Now coming into Curva Grande, 7th gear. Keeps to the inside line to minimise distance around the turn. And he's apparently purple in Sector 1. I don't believe that for a second. Codemasters often lied to me about that sort of stuff. When a driver sets their first flying lap, it comes up with purple. Then a white. Oh! Massive moment at the first Ascari curve. Dearie me, that could have been horrible for the McLaren driver, but he's kept it out. Got a slow car. That's one of the... I think that's a Toro Rosso. Called Reedy, currently in P8. He's just making sure he doesn't impede anyone's lap. Down the back straightaway, leading into turn 11. Let's see, how does he... Yeah, hard on the throttle. Using that traction control to his advantage. And coming up to the line, it's a 20.8. Puts in P7 at the moment. I have to say it's awfully close between these guys at the moment, but you really have to expect that here at Monza. There is only 11 turns on the entire circuit. Not a lot of room for error, as Artie demonstrated there. One small mistake will cost you a bucket load of time on this circuit. It punishes you heavily for mistakes. Got a whole heap of drivers on outlaps it seems, and I believe the first of which... Oh, sorry, no. Lunacy is on a flying lap. I thought he was on an outlap, dearie me. and he's up by half a second on his current time, which is a 22.0. Oh! Dearie me, as much as I don't want to see it, but we are going to see a lot of accidents. Oh, speaking of which, oh, Insulators just stop at the chicane. I just saw the two dots very close to each other. As Lunacy comes across the line and does a 20.8, puts him P8 at the moment for Williams. We're going to see a lot of accidents at Ascari, and in typical Monza fashion, it might be related to stuff like speed, to Ferrari, to the Scarlet Red fans, to Tifosi that bleed passion for their country team, their home team. But there's another thing that Monza is well recognised for, particularly in video games, and that is a lot of death at turn 1. It's quite the common sight, I have to say, particularly on lap 1 as well. So don't be surprised if we see a massive accident going into the Rettifilio on lap 1. Hopefully everyone gets through relatively okay and we can have a good scrap between all drivers throughout the race. But now, Harass, currently third in the championship. The man still hasn't had a win, as Aussie Suspect now goes fastest with a 20.1. This man, he's been looking for a win, and Kickbutt Kiwi just beats her only just by 11 thousandths of a second. He now goes fastest. But this man, he's been looking very good for a win in the past couple of races. Germany is one that definitely comes to mind where he was in a solid position for a win. Unfortunately, an accident that he was just in the wrong place in the wrong time for, as Gold Gloves goes fastest, the first driver in the 19.9s. So this man is awfully quick and he's awfully consistent. He just needs a good race. Just put together a good race and he will win. It's just a matter of time. Now Misty Griffin is coming through Parabolica, and that dirty air from the Renault is going to affect the Mercedes heavily through the high-speed right-hander. Here comes Harass up to the line. It is a 19.2. He goes fastest. Only just, though. More or less by 4 hundredths of a second. Very nice. Very close stuff. At the moment, I think that's Honest Crook now coming out of the pit lane, if I'm not mistaken. I could be mistaken. And I am mistaken, it's Suscas coming out of the pits. And proceeding to cut the chicane. Oh, not this thing where it won't let me go above Servanite. That, I love it when it does that. Look at that. I'm pushing L2, but because Servanite is transitioning into the pit lane, it won't let me actually go above him. It's a very nice feature, I have to say. Alright, so I think Griffin will probably be a good one to watch. Oh, as Big Donga, I think. That was Big Donga. It was at Ascari. Has a massive moment. Dearie me, those tyres are going to be absolutely trashed as well. I wonder if he will still go on to set a lap time. Ken's just getting some gravel onto his tyres for some reason. As Misty Griffin goes 5th fastest with a 20.1. Very close, stupidly close between these guys at the moment. It's good to see. Honest Crook is now on an out lap, so he'll set a time very, very shortly. See, Archie Reale seems to be on an in lap. He's the driver that vaulted up the leaderboard out of the corner of my eye. He's now in P11. Reedy in the Toro Rosso. Currently a 1 minute 21.026. And he's 4/10 of a second up in the first sector. That's absolutely massive! So was that slide from Reedy coming through the Della Roggier chicane. Oh my word, that was very close indeed. Through Ascari he goes. Did he invalidate? He's currently in no ERS. He must have invalidated it. See, yeah, he's down by a second. He was up massively in the first sector. Just coming around now, trying to get back into the pits as quickly as possible. Honest Crook. The last driver of the set of flying lap now begins his said flying lap on the set of soft compound tyres. There's a Ferrari Big Donga, pulls off to the side! Oh, did that distract him just a little bit? Seeing that Ferrari blind the apex ever so slightly. Made him overshoot into turn 1. Harass now beats his own time, does a 19.7. Now 0.2 of a second quicker than P2. That's quite a big margin, I have to say, at Monza. Proceeds to cut the chicane. A lot of people do that, it seems, even though it's incredibly unsportsmanlike. But I do the same thing as well. It's a slow car, El Tonki and Candy Cane. El Tonki currently the slowest out of all the drivers who have set a lap time, but he's now on an out lap. Try and beat it, and I'm sure he will. Yeah, Honest Crook after that. What happened at turn 1? Hopefully he'll have enough resources to set another flying lap. It doesn't seem like it though. That red flashing icon is not giving me very high hopes at this stage, and it looks like he will be coming into the pit lane. There he goes. Pulls it up quite nicely actually. A very nice stop from Honest Crook. See, I believe Installator is on a flying lap. It does seem like that. He's in hot lap mode. Currently a 21.1. Very, very close between these guys. He's 0.3 of a second up. Got some slow cars in Sector 2, including a Mercedes-Benz that has completely stopped on the circuit. I believe that's Harass. I think he's done with qualifying here at Monza. There he is. Current pole sitter, but Installator's coming around Parabolica. Let's see what he can do. Narrows the corner exit up as much as he can, try and narrow the distance, and it's a 20.5 that puts him P13. Now we've got a whole heap of drivers on their final out laps to start their final flying laps. Now El Tonki in the Red Bull apparently is on an out lap. I swear that came up with a flying lap. Just give me a sec. No, I'm sure he's on a flying lap. Oh, he got 2 warnings on that lap, so he's invalidated. Right. But he's still in mode 4. He is hurrying back. There we go. So yeah, he must have invalidated. He's just switched it to out lap 4. Oh my goodness me! That is massive! That's Ascari. What on earth happened there? He cut turn 8 massively, then completely lost control. That is a massive accident for the Red Bull. Golden Glove's going very slowly. Very angry side pod. He's now in P3, the best of the Ferraris by quite some margin. From P3 and P17 for the Scarlet Red. Big Donga has retired from the session. On track, it seems, as well. There he is. There's his AI. Side pod on a flying lap. He's got that red fuel icon. That's not good. But he's the best chance for Ferrari at the moment. Mr. Griffin on a flying lap at the start. And I believe Servanine is just about... Oh no. He can't be on an out lap, surely. No, he's invalidated. So the game... Right, so when it says out lap, for some of these drivers, they're actually on a flying lap, but they just got invalidated. So Artie can't make it to the end, unfortunately. So the best he can do is 10th place. What about his teammate? Apparently he's on an out lap as well. He comes into the pits, okay. Toro Rosso comes along across the line and goes fastest. Aussie Suspect, a 19.6, just obliterates Harasser's time. Now where's that Renault, Misty Griffin? There he is. Now has he made a mistake? He looks slow. He looks very slow. Something's happened on his lap. He's come into the pits. Golden Gloves has retired from the session as well. He's crashed just after Delarogier chicane. Servanite has retired from the session in the pit lane. That's good to see. And Cypod's coming in as well. All of these drivers are coming in. Strange. So we have to wait until all of these drivers come into the pits. The timer must have run out then, has it? Just I'm a bit behind. Must be. Give me a second. Alright, so that's apparently the end of quali. Apparently. Where is it? So, qualifying done. Aussie Suspect will start on pole position, a 1 minute 19.6 with Harass in P2, a 1 minute 19.7, Golden Gloves P3, Cypod P4, Lunacy P5, Kickbutt Kiwi P6, Misty Griffin P7, Ken Tenma P8, Suskas P9, Artie Chengas P10, 78 P11, Blocky Rex P12, Candy Cane P13, Archie Reale P14, Installator P15, Dan the Racer P16, Big Donga P17, Reedy P18, El Tonki P19, and Honest Crook rounds out the grid. As we move on to the race itself, ladies and gentlemen, strap yourselves in. This is going to be one hell of a race. That's it there. Race day. Oh, good on you, Banana. You always have to do that. Banana cake pie. Always. Forever and always, you always have to do that. But the drivers are just now fine-tuning their setups, fine-tuning their fuel load, and for positions 11 through 20, they'll be fine-tuning their strategy as they have a free choice of tyre. Something to mention, the top 10, all of them are starting on the softs, as you saw on the leaderboard. So, and it looks very overcast, I have to say. But let's go on the formation lap. 27 laps ahead of us. 27 times through turn 1 in Ascari. Oh boy. And only 2 drivers electing to start on the medium tyre, so I'm guessing a lot of drivers are going with the soft simply because it gives them the most amount of flexibility. Because turn 1, lap 1, it's going to be carnage. Same with Ascari. There's most likely going to be a safety car at some stage. So I can understand that. I can understand that. So, as the drivers are coming round, who do I think is going to win? I think Harass might actually pull one, just put a good race together. He has done it on now. He really does. And I think he can do it now as well. I think we'll have to wait and see. There's so much that can happen, so particularly with these races. And it's not just a virtual world where we get some fantastic races. I mean, Monza just brings out some really good stuff. Like what happened in 2008, where Sebastian Vettel, in a wet, dry Italian Grand Prix, took his first ever victory behind the wheel of a Toro Rosso. This is also the place where Michael Schumacher had that really emotional interview at the 2000 Italian Grand Prix when he equaled Ayrton Senna's record for most career victories for a Formula 1 driver. If you haven't seen that interview, I recommend you watch it, because it's quite the emotional scene, I have to say. This is a place in 1988 where McLaren didn't win the 88 Italian Grand Prix, and it became the only race where the legendary McLaren Honda MP44 didn't win a race in that season. Every other race the McLaren won, except for the Italian Grand Prix, which was won by Ferrari. Behind the wheel of that Ferrari was Gerhard Berger. I mean, we've all seen Rush, the 1976 Italian Grand Prix, when Niki Lauda came back from a near fatal incident at the German Grand Prix at the Nürburgring to finish 4th after nearly dying and recovering. And of course, Jim Clark's legendary drive, which I highly recommend that you look up. It is one magical piece of story, that is. But let's create some here with 5 red lights. And it's lights out. And away we go here at Monza. Lap 1 of 27. Whoa, that is a Red Bull off the circuit for sure. Wow. And here we go. Into the Rettifilio for the first time. Oh, and it's a car park. It is a car park. And Aussie... Oh, it's a car park. Oh, my goodness me. People are crashing into each other left and right. And there's Aussie Suspect. Oh no, he has literally gone from first to last. I have never seen such a thing. He's gone from first to last. After cutting the first chicane to avoid an accident, harasses off the circuit. And I believe Misty Griffin went off the circuit as well. Oh, it's absolute carnage. The Red Bull and the Ferrari, side by side, Ken and Sidepod. And that Suspect at the Della Roggier chicane having a moment. Same with Gold Gloves. Oh, let's have a look at this. Gold Gloves, 16 positions lost. Suspect, 19 positions lost. Wow, that is a horrible, horrible start. Contrastly, Kit Butt Kiwi and Ardi Chenges, the McLarens are leading 1 and 2. And Installator has had a moment out of Ascari. He has dropped a lot of positions, then El Tonki moves past him on the back straightaway, leading into Parabolica. It's been a... How you put... Oh dear. From pole to last. And he's retired. You don't retire. Ah, Aussie. You don't ever retire from a race. It's only the first lap. You never know what's going to happen, particularly at Monza. Anything happens here at this place. Safety cars are a riot here. Keep going. Don't give up. Ah, dear me. I guess, you know, when a start like that happens, yeah, you just want to get out of it. I do understand, but still, just keep going. Don't give up. Force yourself to keep going. Look at this train. This pack of hungry wolves just wanting to go ravenous with each other. Oh, dearie me. I see a lot of crashes. I see a lot of crashes coming. Unfortunately. Hopefully not, but I'm feeling it. Blocky has lost some positions as he cuts the Ascari Chicane entirely. He has to stay as far to the right as possible and gets a 10-second time penalty for exceeding track limits. Jesus, Codemasters. You want to be any more brutal? As Kick Butt Kiwi sets a new fastest lap and Harass overtakes Lunacy. DRS is now enabled. It's lap 3 of 27 into the heavy braking zone of turn 1. Harass holds on to P4 for now, and that was close between himself and the Mercedes, but they get through. Very angry Sidepod down 3 positions and his teammate up 9. It's sort of a mixed start for the Ferrari team. Everyone seems to get through turn 1 quite nicely. Oh, sorry, out of Della Roggier chicane quite nicely. Not turn 1, minus Big Donga. I saw that in the background. Candy Cane has lost some positions as well. Oh, it's all happening at once, folks. Tell you what, I'm going to keep an eye with the top scoring. Oh, never mind, give me a minute. I saw a big sideways moment for the Williams coming out of the second Lesmo. Oh my word, I don't know where to look. We've got people fighting left, right and centre at the moment. No one is driving in an orderly fashion except for Kickbutt Kiwi, who has pulled out a 2.2 second margin to his teammate. He's looking pretty good at this stage, but that will all change once if there's a safety car. Even though I think there will be a safety car at some point during this race. But here we go, the Red Bull and the Williams side by side, and the Red Bull is pulling away. Lunacy backs out rather smartly, and Misty Griffin moves into second place, overtaking Artie in the McLaren through the Rettifilio. Just keep an eye on these. Oh, Artie, Jesus. Oh, he is weaving everywhere. He's just telling Misty, I'm right here, mate. I am right here. And Artie gets a horrible run through Della Roggier. And Harass is now right up behind him, coming into the second DRS zone, out of the second Lesmo. Well, the DRS wide open, but Artie gets a brilliant run out of that right-hander. Pulls away from Harass a little bit. In fact, Harass is now vulnerable to Ken in the Red Bull. Ken looks very quick at the moment. Car looks good as well. He's flowing it beautifully through Ascari. You see that? Just kisses the apex. Oh, hang on. Big Donga had a moment. Ooh. I think we might have some juicy stuff here. Ooh, Big Donga isn't happy about something, that's for sure. Let's switch it back to the tyres, shall we? Dan the Racer, the highest placed driver on the medium tyre rather, in 12th place. So long as he stays within this group, he's doing pretty well for himself. As Sidepod and Servanite go side by side through turns 1 and 2. They're still side by side, and Sidepod comes out on top, but he's a long way behind 6th place. Going to take some chasing down, but if they keep battling like this, there is absolutely no hope of this group catching up to the top 6. And now the Haas and the Alpha side by side through the chicane. Dearie me, Big Donga, 3 seconds. Servanite gets a horrible run through. Oh, Della Roggier. Ah, Jesus. Fellas, you have got 27 laps worth of racing in this. Calm down. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. You know, give me a break. And here's the leading pack of cars, led by Kickbutt Kiwi. And Mr. Griffin has just closed slightly on the McLaren. Gap now 1.9 seconds. It was about 2.3. Seems that Misty has got good race pace. But so long as Kiwi maintains that 2-second margin, it's looking good for the McLaren driver, as Harass now makes a move on the McLaren around the outside, utilising the DRS, moving himself up into P3, as Sidepod and Suscast are now fighting into turns 1 and 2. Oh, actually Riale, a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting. And I just saw out of the corner of my eye an end plate at turn 1. I'm not sure who that was, but I did see an end plate. An end plate. It's a Ferrari end plate. I didn't think it was side pods. Surely not. How on earth are you missing an end plate? As Gold Gloves makes a mistake at the Della Roggier chicane. He falls down to 12th. I saw that. Just a brief drop in positions for the Racing Point. But Sidepod, he's going to be incredibly vulnerable if that end plate is turning out to be the case. I didn't think it was his end plate though, but there we go, it must have been. You can see there through Ascari, he was understeering everywhere just because of the lack of downforce. Oh! Ascari, dearie me. Luckily he's not out of the session just yet. Still just has to keep going. Battle for P11. Mercedes power versus Ferrari power, and Mercedes comes out on top. Oh, dearie me. And we got some stuff going on. Oh, it's just... These guys aren't giving each other a break at the moment. So, Sopod is missing an end plate. So is his teammate, I think. If it can give me a better camera angle, that would be really nice. Yeah, I think that's... Yeah, it is. Both Ferraris are missing end plates. Oh, and into the wall! Into the wall goes Big Donga. Oh, he's on the racing line. Oh, Archie Reale, how did you miss? How on earth did you miss? Oh, my word. Donga into the wall at the first Lesmo. Just out of the first Lesmo. Oh, that's going to be big damage for the Ferrari as well. 7.3 seconds. Yellow 3. Must have been just a slow car. Just a local yellow. Oh my word. As Ken now... Oh, harass. That's early. That's very early. Onto the medium tyre he goes. No damage. This is a plan that he's made. The big undercut. Now he's on fresh tyres. He's also in clean air with Big Donga. 5-second penalty for speeding. He's in clear air. He can just put some really good laps down. But here comes Gold Gloves. Not quite close enough, it seems. So Harass doesn't have to worry behind him. Doesn't have to worry in front of him. Just set some really fast laps. Right. Back up to this battle, shall we? I might just have a look, quick squeeze. Ooh, here we go. Servanite to the outside. Here we go, into the braking zone of Ascari. And Server gets him already. That's how powerful DRS is in this game. That is absolutely ridiculous. Oh, Sipod. Oh, you don't want to touch the gravel on the outside. And now he's got Suscus all over the back of him, coming into Parabolica. As Kickbutt Kiwi pits, so he's going to retaliate more or less to Harass's undercut. Make sure they minimise his undercut effect. And Kickbutt Kiwi's going on to the hards. Oh, has he shot himself in the foot? I wonder. I'm pretty certain the mediums will make it. Sector 3 yellow flags. It's Candy Cane. He's made a mistake at Ascari. There he is. And he gets to the cross and... Oh, dearie me. So. Kickbutt Kiwi on the hard tyre though. You can see that there on the leaderboard in 12th place. And you can see now Harass is only 1.8 seconds behind Kiwi, so it's going to be very close between these guys. So Mr. Griffin now holds the lead, and oh, these guys are still battling very hard. The two Haas's. It's Ferrari power here. All of them are Ferrari engines. Oh, Crook, are you going to send it down the inside? Oh, no, he doesn't, but he takes his teammate, but his teammate gets a far better run. Oh, but he can't quite put all the power down. And they're still... Oh, Suscus. That was completely unnecessary. You didn't need to do that. 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. You could have just went another lap, but oh dear. Oh, look at that. Harass is right up behind Kickbutt Kiwi, the race leader, provisionally the race leader. And Harass is going to be absolutely electric on those mediums. Honest Crook, 3 seconds. Oh, Suscus did not need to do that. Not need to do that at all. through De La Rosier. And he's losing a bit of time to Kiwi. That wasn't a good run. But he'll get DRS, that's for certain. Well within the 1 second. We'll get back to that in a minute because these guys are still battling like crazy. And Honest Crook has made a mistake. That must have been the yellow flag that popped up just a bit earlier. Oh, and Archie Reale has made a mistake at Ascari. Dearie me. It's catching out a lot of drivers, but luckily still no safety car. Misty Griffin, a 5-second penalty for speeding. And here they come, pouring into the server 5 seconds for speeding. And Honest Crook now takes the lead. So yeah, I mean, Suskas could have done another lap and he hadn't have worried about his teammate. And that's a front wing change as well, which is why he's in the pit lane for so long. And out goes Ken. Who's that screaming on by? It's Lunacy. These guys were battling in that big pack between P2 to P5. They're side by side coming out of the Rettivilio into Curva Grande. Ken's got the inside line, but that speed of the Williams just pulling him away into turns 4 and 5. And, oh, that's a warning for sure for Ken. That's 100% a warning. Oh dear, poor Suskas having that 5-second penalty to deal with. Did not need to do that. He really didn't. And Artie's involved in this as well. He's within a second of the two guys in front, battling for P7 at the moment. Still got 3 guys to pit. As Honest Crook gets a 5-second penalty for speeding. Reedy will be coming in. There he goes. And that leaves Dan the Racer in the lead of this race. There they go, dropping down the leaderboard, and Lunacy right in behind Ken. Ken, I believe, made a move on him, did he not? Into Parabolica? I didn't quite see that. I'm pretty sure Lunacy was leading Ken. Coming into Parabolica. But Lunacy couldn't find a way past him to turn 1. Coming through Curva Grande. Let's see, 100 meter board, and he backs out. He's saying not yet. Now's not the time to attack. Artie makes a mistake through the chicane. Pushing a little bit hard. And Suskas is now getting involved in this as well. Sector 2 yellow flags. That's a Renault. That's a slow Renault. Candy cane. It's only blue flags. He's just going that slowly. It's causing yellow flags. Oh, and Artie, that will be a warning for sure. There's Candy Cane just pulling off to the side. Doing the appropriate thing. Oh, but here we go. This might be a change in the provisional lead. Of course, Dan the Racer is leading this race. But he has to make a stop on 12 lap-old mediums. The Kiwi goes defensive into turn 1. It will compromise his run into turn 2. If Harass can get a good run, which he does, both of them do, he might have a chance into turn 4. But no, Kickbutt Kiwi, he's got really good straight line speed at the moment. He might be using a bit more ERS, it seems like it, just to try and stay out in front. And still, that's Candy Cane just slowing down, letting everyone by, doing the right thing. Now coming through the first Lesmo, into the second Lesmo. 4th gear, oh, and using all of the curb, getting a little bit sideways as well. DRS open, but he's just waiting patiently. He's going to play this out. He's going to, oh, gets a 3-second time penalty is exactly what he's going to do. And Kickbutt Kiwi makes a mistake through Ascari, and Harass is going to pounce. Around the outside. Coming into a Parabolica, but Kiwi holds the line. And will he get DRS as well? Neither of them will. No, Kiwi does get DRS. Oh, I don't believe it. Nice little bit of racecraft from Kiwi. Turn 1. So he holds on to the position. And suddenly Misty Griffin is really involved in this. Hardy and Suscast exchanging positions for P7 as Dan the Racer has left the session. The race leader has left the session. Hopefully he can find a way back in. He's in a good place, no doubt. Oh, dearie me. But there we go. We have a three-way fight for the lead. And it's so fitting that two of them are championship contenders. And they're in P3 and P4 at the moment. Let's see what these fellas can do. All of them are race winners. Except for Harass. He's just been mega consistent. Oh, it's Donga. I think that's Donga. Yep. At the Delarogier. Deary me. And there's Dan the Racer, rather. Going very slowly because of the 40 rated AI. And that's an easy move. That's going to be really easy. Harass moves himself into the lead of this race. But he's got two very quick, very fast drivers. See that? I don't know about that one, Chief. Don't know about that one. Hasn't caused a safety car though. It's alright. It's the way that their cars place, it just has me a little bit suspicious. I just wonder if the stewards will investigate that a little bit. Misty Griffin coming down the second DRS zone. Kickbutt Kiwi's right in behind Harass as well. Kiwi on the hards, but he's making them work. And he will get to the end. There's a bit of a question mark. Oh, that's just Ken getting past. There is a bit of a question mark over Harass. I'm not sure they will make the full race distance. I think they will, but I'm not sure. Greedy 3 seconds. DRS open. And Kickbutt Kiwi is spending everything. I think he's on auto ERS. Which is why his AI is spending so much. Or Harass and Kickbutt Kiwi side by side. Sector 3 yellow flags is the slow car. That's alright. And Misty Griffin, he's just biding his time. He's saving up. He's got plenty of ERS to play with. I think both of them have auto. Maybe. Oh no, he's tucked it into none. It's just Harass is using a lot. And there's Dan the Racer. Good to see. He's back. Oh, I don't want to take my eyes off this. Sorry, Aussie, we can't start this race again. You never give up, though. Never ever give up. You keep going. Don't stop going. But now we got this brilliant battle for the lead. Three-way fight. 3 different teams, 2 of them very much in the championship hunt. Kickbutt Kiwi, the best of the rest so far, but is a long way behind. 2 wins, in fact, behind Misty Griffin, and then some. But here we go, Misty Griffin, oh my goodness me, it is 3 wide at the main Filio. Oh, the Kiwi's gonna fight back. What, are you joking? Misty Griffin could not get a good enough exit. But he has the inside line. Oh, this will be a good spot. Oh, who's gonna be... Oh, Griffin pulls it off. What a move. Around the outside into turn 1. Takes 2 positions in 1 corner. Very nice move indeed. moves himself into the lead of the Italian Grand Prix with 10 and a bit laps to go. Wow. We'll just take a quick gander at the other point scoring positions. Ken Tenma under attack from Lunacy as we got some more slow cars in Sector 1. Oh, and Ken gets quite a wide line through Ascari through the last part. Deary me. Could have been an accident there. No, he hangs on. Currently P5 for the Red Bull. It's looking good for him. Oh, but Lunacy gets one hell of a run out of Parabolica. You could see how much time he gained. And here we go. To the inside. Pulls out of it. Probably a good call. Oh, and Kiwi must have made a mistake. He was 1/10 behind Misty Griffin. He's now almost a second behind. Oh my word, who was that? Saskas. It's pronounced lunatic. Deary me. And into Ascari they go. Ken is right in behind. Oh, and someone's made a mistake. It's Kiwi. Dropped down from second place. And Suskas move. Oh, here we go. Side-by-side action through Parabolica. Here we go. Onto the main straightaway. This will be a great view. Oh, it's... It was just for a brief moment 3 wide as Lunacy moves himself into P4. Again, a similar move that Misty Griffin did. Moves himself into P4. Best of the rest so far. And these guys are going to continue to battle. Behind them is Ardy and Installator. Oh, speaking of battling, into Ascari Chicane. Suskas moves back into P4. Oh, you get a bit of hard and mouth stuff going through the first Lesmo. Anyone else, I wonder? So we got a battle for P7 between Ardy, Installator and Servanite. And we got a battle for P4, Suskas, Lunacy and Ken Tenma. Then a battle for the lead, Misty Griffin, Harass and Kickbutt Kiwi. Kiwi, he's lost a bit of time, but he's still there. He's still very much in this. And Harass, I think, is going to make a move for the lead of this race. Around the outside, using that DRS. And here we go. We're going to see probably a similar thing here, I'd imagine. Oh no, it's already happened. It was Lunacy that had DRS. Oh my word. Look at, we've got 3 battles. 3 of them that involve 3 drivers each. Jesus. Oh, and onto the grass and into the wall. Oh, he tried to Fernando Alonso it, but he couldn't hold it on. He couldn't hold on to it. And gets a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting. Oh my word. How have we still not seen a safety car? That is quite incredible. Oh, and Mr. Griffin must have made quite a mistake in the midst of all that. Because he's fallen down to P3 behind Kickbutt Kiwi, and Harass has absolutely gunned it. He's pulled out a 1.3 second margin to Kiwi. Oh, was that contact? I think that was, you know. Between those two. Hearing me. Oh, and they're still battling like madmen. Oh my word. And it's 3 wide again. On the pitch straight away. Oh, this is absolutely fantastic. Into the braking zone. Into Rettifilio. Once again. As Artie comes into the pit lane, as I imagine he would. Contact like that, you would have to come in to get that front wing changed. No way you get away with that without any damage. Actually, I'm just going to check something. I know Harass, yep, he's got 3 seconds. Misty Griffin has got 5 seconds, that's right, for speeding. So Kickbutt Kiwi is currently lining himself up. He's got 3 warnings, but apparently no penalty. So Kickbutt Kiwi is lining himself up for a race win here. And just give me a minute. Ken's got 3 seconds. Lunacy, just 2 warnings. This might be a very interesting end to this race. If Kiwi doesn't get a penalty, he's lining himself up for a race win here. Harass needs to build up a 3-second margin to Kiwi. And he's got no ERS at all. You can see that there. Red, 0, nothing, nada. That's the problem with running with auto. I think he's running auto, I'm not sure. We've still got this battle. Oh, this is fantastic. Back up to the leading trio. As soon as Kiwi gets a penalty, Harass lines himself up for a race win. Here we go, through Lesmo 1. Into Lesmo 2. Griffin is lining himself up for an overtake here. DRS open. And I'm pretty certain that Griffin hasn't served his penalty either. That 5 seconds for speeding. Pretty certain it was for speeding anyway. Through the S's. Over the curbs. At the moment, if the positions stay as they are... Just a slow car, okay. If the positions stay as they are, Kickbutt Kiwi is lining himself up for a win. Which will be his 2nd win this season, following the events in Germany. As Misty Griffin to the outside overtakes Harass. And moves himself back into the lead of this race. Ken moves himself, or rather stays himself in P4. Suscast moves into P5, if I'm not mistaken. Oh my word. This is absolutely fantastic stuff, I have to say. Lunacy, 3 seconds. I believe that's his first penalty too. Sidepod, 3 seconds, currently in P9. Not a great day for the Ferrari team at all. Through the 2nd Lesmo. Aren't able to do too much at this stage. But, returning back to this leading trio, as soon as Kiwi gets a penalty, it's game on between him and Harass. As El Tonki retires in the pit lane. Will that cause a safety car? That can happen. Or at least a virtual. Here we go. Through Parabolica. For the 23rd time to begin lap 24 of 27. Oh, and Harass, he's going to try and make a move. Suscast has already made one. Harass can't make it though. Although, on the other hand, Suscast did. He moves himself up into P4. Just to have a look at his penalties. He's got 5 seconds. Okay. That's right, for that massive speeding moment. Just wove into the pit lane. It was a very late move and he couldn't get the car pulled up. And 3 seconds to his name now. Oh, and look at this. They've really bunched up. They have really, really bunched up. So I wonder, has Griffin made a mistake? And he's just bunched up the other two with nowhere to go, and it's pushed it. Oh my goodness. Ken's out! Oh, I don't believe it! From such a comfortable race, he crashes into the wall. The inside wall coming out of the second Ascari. He loses a potential top 6 finish. We have now got a 4, potentially 5-way fight for the win. Lunacy is on 3 seconds. I'm certain he is on 3. 3. Suscus is on 5. Harass is on 3. Yep. Kick Butt is on none. Missy Griff. Is it a safety car? It is a safety car! You have got to be kidding me! Oh my goodness me! Oh, from the ashes of Ken Tenma has come... Oh, and Misty gets another 3 seconds. Oh my word. But yes, from the ashes of Ken Tenma comes the silver Mercedes SLS AMG, the Formula 1 safety car. We're going to have a 1-lap dash. This is going to be a 1-lap dash. And it's all up to this man. It is all up to Kickbutt Kiwi. On these laps, he cannot, under any circumstances, get a warning. If he does, that is 3 seconds, and then he has to put up with harass. RD Chingas, a 20-second time penalty for speeding under safety car. Because yes, you can't serve a drive-through this late in the race. Oh my word. Oh, but what a sad thing for Ken. That was definitely a top 6. Maybe even a podium when the field bunched up like it did. But we'll have a 1-lap dash. This is seriously going to be a 1-lap shootout. Oh my goodness me. Like, I've never seen a safety car this late. And I've never seen a safety car come out and just... It's going to do 1 lap. Unless, of course, I don't think we'll finish under safety car. Surely not. Yeah, it's just interesting because, yeah, it's lap 26 of 27. Why pit? There is no point in pitting. But Lunacy is going to be mega fast on that soft tyre. And he's going to chuck it up into hot lap. It is, honest to God, going to be a quali lap. 15 lap old mediums versus literally fresh softs. Lunacy is going to be fast. Very fast. On this 1 lap. And he's caught up. He is caught up. Reedy's catching up. And look at this hungry pack of soft runners. They are going to be ridiculously, spoon-bendingly fast. And safety car is in this lap. Strap yourselves in. It's going to be 5.79 kilometers of chaos. As Sidepod gets a 10-second time penalty for exceeding track limits. Dearie me, it's not a good day for Ferrari at all. 5.79 kilometers. 11 turns of racing left. Who's going to come out on top? Kiwi. If he gets one more warning, that's it. That is it. When's Griffin gonna pounce? Blocky Rex, a 5-second penalty, a severe collision with Dan the Racer. And there they go. Oh, the field's still bunching up. Oh my goodness me, it is a massive car park. Oh my goodness me, look at them scatter. And here comes Lunacy on the softs. This might be a good view of this battle. And Servanite has jumped a lot. Oh, in contact. Hang on a minute, that was big contact. Oh, that's even bigger contact there. Lunacy now finds himself in 3rd. Wait a minute, who's... Harass! Oh my goodness me, he's down in 7th! Artie has just gotten a 5-second penalty. Oh my goodness, it's all coming together now. Oh, and a Ferrari has just cut the Della Roggier massively. Oh, and that's a Ferrari into the wall. I think it might have been an Alfa Romeo. Oh my goodness me. These guys are going to be fighting like crazy. Oh my goodness me. Oh my goodness, that's 3 cars into the wall. Oh, but we can't look away. Who's going to bloody win this thing? Lunacy around the outside. Kiwi gets 3 seconds. He's on level terms with Lunacy. They're on the same penalties. I don't believe it. And here comes Suskas. Oh my goodness me. But here we go, into Parabolica for the final time. Griffin's going to come across the line first, but who's going to come across the line second and takes the win? Is it Lunacy? Is it Suskas? Up to the line. It's Lunacy, I don't believe it. He takes first place. He becomes the 9th different winner in this Tier 2 Pacific Series on Spec Esports. Oh my goodness me, he's done it. That's why you pit for the softs. That is exactly why you pit for the softs. He wins the Italian Grand Prix. And Dan the Racer, where on earth did you come from? He finishes in 3rd place. And Kickbutt Kiwi finishes 2nd. But oh my goodness me. He came out of nowhere. To quote 2010 Jeff, he came out of nowhere. Lunacy becomes the 9th different winner in this championship. 9. F1 2012, eat your heart out. That 2012 season pales in comparison to what I'm seeing here. What an ending to a race. He goes on to win. Kiwi gets 1 warning, and it was at turn 8 at Ascari. He cut the corner too much, and it earned him a 3-second penalty, which put him on level terms with Lunacy. And unfortunately for Suskas, he got another set of warnings that I didn't pick up, unfortunately. So he drops down to P4. Dan the Racer, from 16th to 3rd. Pretty solid drive, don't you think? Insulator, 15th to 5th. Misty Griffin in 6th. Harass. Oh, Harass. Deary me. Finishes in 7th. Gold Gloves in 8th. Very Angry Sidepod in 9th. And Blocky Rex, Sir Blocky Rex, finishes in P10, rounding out the point scorers. And who got fastest lap? It seems that Gold Gloves got fastest lap, a 1 minute 21.888. Oh my goodness me. That's why you pit for the softs. That's why you pit for the softs. Oh my goodness me. I'm going to leave the session for now. Now I'm going to do some post-race interviews because we need to do that. I'll try and get the top 3. I'll try and get Lunacy, Kickbutt Kiwi, and hopefully Dan the Racer will join us as well. Hopefully. Oh my goodness me. So, I'll tell you what, we'll go to the showroom because that will be a nice place to have a nice little backdrop for the interviews. Williams F1. Righto. So I'll be right back with interviews. Hello, Lunacy. I'm just inviting all the two other drivers for the podium, so hopefully we'll get everyone in here. Just before we do interviews, I just want to make sure your audio is all good. With share play is on all. If you go into party settings, that your audio is on always allow. Yep, in party settings. Yep. Righto. Holy moly, Lunacy. Wow. Okay. Yep. Alright, so it should be alright. Righto. Kickbug, you there? Righto. And just make sure that your audio is all good as well. Righto. And Dan the Racer, are you there as well? Yeah, I know. I'm just making sure. Right. Good to see. So, I'll start the interviews now, shall I? Rightio. So, interview time. And I've got the top three in the lobby, in the party rather, with me. With first place being Lunacy for Williams, second place being Kickbutt Kiwi in the McLaren, and third place being Dan the Racer 99 in the other Williams. I guess we'll start off with the race winner, Lunacy. First of all, congratulations on the win. Second of all, where did that come from?
I have no idea.
I mean, I guess we'll go back to the mid part and the beginning of the race. How did your race go as a whole before the safety car?
It was. I knew we were losing time because me, Ken, and Sus were during the whole race. We're just fighting, but since the fronts were losing time, I just kept on just fighting him constantly. And then yeah, I don't know. It all came together. No safety cars, came out perfect. All went well.
Now, I thought you might have blown it by switching onto the soft tyre. Was that your call? Was that Jeff's call to switch onto the soft tyre when the safety car came out?
It was a hit and miss because I knew the sus cars, my tyres were like nearly on 80%.
Yeah, righto.
And there was a bit of a gap behind, so I was like, begging for people not to come in, so I took the risk. And then I saw Servernight not come in, and I started panicking, but then everyone started pitting, so...
Okay. Well, congratulations on your first win in this championship. You must be... I mean, you don't sound ecstatic, but you must be ecstatic.
I'm just trying to stay calm. I'm going to go some champagne after this, you know.
Yeah, as soon as you get off the mic, you're going to go ape shit or something like that. Yeah. Just absolutely
you're lucky you weren't in the party. I was screaming at Kickbutt, begging to give me room, so, which he did, and I love him for it. He could have pushed me off easy, and it would have been game over.
Well, speaking of which, Kickbutt Kiwi, congratulations on the second place, and what a superb battle throughout the race you had between Mr. Griffin and Harass. And I noticed that you also didn't have any penalties next to your name throughout that race. Was the car comfortable to drive throughout the whole thing, which is why you didn't end up getting too many penalties, or too many warnings rather, until the safety car period came around?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I was on the edge the whole race, like through that fast left, right, left in the final sector. I was just hanging on for dear life, trying not to bin it. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I managed to do that for most of the race, and then final lap, I realised that I had no penalties and those around me did, so I sort of relaxed and tried to just not make mistakes, and then Lunacy just came out of nowhere, and I was probably a little bit too cautious with him, and I ended up cutting a corner with 2 corners to go. Mm-hmm. Which threw the whole race away for me, but yeah, I feel pretty good about it. It was a really fun race, and I'm happy for Lunacy that he got the win.
No, that was an absolutely superb drive that you guys had, particularly between Griffin and Harass. Just a quick question. Was it your call to go onto the hard tyre when you made your pit stop, or was that Jeff's call?
Well, I never listened to Jeff because he doesn't know what he's talking about. But
That's very true.
But yeah, it was touch and go. I just felt that with the tyre wear on the softs in the first stint, it was a lot worse than I thought, and so I pitted a lot earlier and decided to go on the hards.
Fair enough.
Just because I prefer the safer option, gives me a bit of breathing space for later in the race, and it didn't seem to penalise me too much. I think if that safety car hadn't come out, I might have passed Misty with a couple of laps to go and got the win, but yeah, it's all hypotheticals now.
So your pit stop wasn't to cover Harass, who pitted early?
I was aware that he had pitted. I thought he was a bit too far behind, and then when I came out, I realised he was right behind me, so it's a good thing I pitted as early as I did, but yeah, he wasn't my main focus at that time. It was more Misty because I was racing him, I think.
Fair enough. Thank you very much for talking, Kickbutt Kiwi. Congratulations again on the second place. But now let's move on to our third place driver for tonight, Dan the Racer, 999. No penalties, mate. Well done.
Thank you.
That's a really nice, clean drive, and with the no penalties, it vaults you up to P3. You must be feeling pretty good after that.
Well, I was 14th with 3 laps to go, and I finished 3rd. So,
Not bad.
I'm feeling pretty good, and when the safety car came out, I was cheering because when I disconnected midway through the race, I was in the lead, and I thought, crap, there goes an opportunity, but the safety car came out, and I was always going to stay out. I was never going to pit. And I had Lockie behind me, and Angry Side Pod in front of me, and I'm thinking, shit, these two are wild, man. One of them's going to hit me. And I don't know who was leading at the restart, but they backed us all up. And we're going onto the pit straight, and everyone stopped. But the green flag was out, so I just floored it. I picked up about 10 positions, and then I followed Kickbutt Kiwi home after that and finished 3rd.
Oh, still a superb result, and very good under the safety car restart, just because a lot of people have got a few misconceptions on how to actually conduct yourself over a safety car restart. But yeah, as soon as the green flag comes out, you gun it, and it doesn't matter if you overtake anyone. So very good perception from you.
I don't know if the guys in front of me were sleeping or whatever, but yeah, they missed it and I went for it.
No, a very good 3rd place. How was the rest of the race for you, minus the safety car restart?
Well, I damaged my front wing really early, and that kind of messed me up. But when I got to the lead, before I disconnected, I was just about to pit for the soft tyres and go to the end. But when I disconnected, I lost so much time. I came out in 16th. I'm thinking, oh my god. So at that point, it wasn't going too well. So
yeah, but still, congratulations on the 3rd place. Really well deserved. That's now 2 podiums next to your name, after Germany and now here in Italy. So very well done from you. Now a question to all 3 drivers, just because the safety car was such a highlight of this race, were you fellas surprised it came out so late in this race?
I was surprised we only had a 1-lap shootout. I thought it'd be a 2-lap shootout. But I think because the safety car didn't pick up the leader, we had to do the extra lap around. I think.
Yeah, I don't think races end under safety car in this game. Usually, I haven't seen it anyway. So yeah, it's quite surprising that it came out so late. But I sort of expected a 1-lap shootout, which was unfortunate because I would have happily finished under safety car.
What did he even come out for?
Ken Tenma losing it at the second. He crashed into the inside wall after losing it in the second Lesmo.
But it was weird. It took like the whole last sector to come out though. It's very delayed.
Yeah,
it was very late. Let's see. Anything else that I can think about? I can't really think of anything.
Let's drink some champagne.
Everything happened towards the end of the race, and I can't actually remember what happened at the start of it.
The start was pretty tame, apart from me running into a run, but...
Well, I was quite surprised how much of a car park it was through turn 1. I was expecting someone to have an accident, but not really, other than Aussie.
I knew he had an accident about 300 times in the first lap, but yeah.
Yeah, I know that my teammate Artie went from P10 to P2 in like one corner, so
yeah, it was
something that happened.
1-2 for McLaren at one stage. It was looking good for you two fellas.
We were dreaming.
But no, I can't think of any more, fellas. Thank you so much for joining me for post-race interviews. And again, congratulations to all three and for your respective finishing positions. Very well done. And especially to Lunacy becoming the 9th winner, different winner of this championship. Very well done.
Thank you.
Yeah, right. Thanks, Meg.
Now, I think that's about time to end this stream. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you've enjoyed this as much as I have. That was such a fantastic race, such a typical, chaotic, dramatic Monza race. It's why we love the place so much. It's the home of Ferrari, the home of the Tifosi, the home of horsepower and the home of speed. It's a home of chaos and drama and all the passionate things that we love about Formula One. And I hoped you really did enjoy this one. If you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, I highly recommend that you do, because you get content like this coming out on a weekly basis, at least out of Tier 2. It happens in Tier 1 as well. It happens in the Americas series, which I do on the occasion as well. It's all fantastic stuff to watch, and it'll be fantastic for you to be a part of it, here watching, and for you to be in the comments section, just jotting down anything, your opinions about the race, any mistakes that I make, etc. And trust me, I make plenty of mistakes on these streams. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for watching. And until next time, I've been the Smeg, and I'll see you in the next episode. Good night.